Tonight, I would like to tell you Yosef Gerstein's story. Yossi loved playing football. He would play with his friends with a football made out of old socks. His mother's name was Marla, and she had beautiful long black hair and big dark eyes. Marla had just given birth to a baby girl. His dad was Samuel, and he was very tall and he was strong, and he was a manager at a large food warehouse. As was usual, they lived with his grandparents. His grandfather worked at home as a shoe repairer, and Yossi loved going for walks with his grandmother. His house was not a religious house, but it was definitely a Jewish house. This was reflected by being sent to Hebrew classes, where a class of over 20 little boys would be taught by a rabbi. His favourite holidays were Passover, when they would have wonderful seders, and especially Hanukkah, when he would always be given a dreidel to play with. Life in Warsaw for Yossi was happy and full of love, and surrounded by family warmth. And then on the 1st of September 1939, his world changed. Germany invaded Poland. On the 29th of September, Warsaw surrendered. For a short time after the outbreak of war, the Gerstein family functioned in a reasonable manner. However, with the heavy bombing and the invasion of Warsaw, there became severe food and medical shortages. Samuel Gerstein, his father, managed to bring food for his family from the warehouse. One day he never came home. He just disappeared, and his family never saw him again. In 1940, the German authorities established the Warsaw Ghetto. This ghetto was enclosed by a 10-foot high wall topped with barbed wire. Marla Gerstein's husband was dead. She had a small baby and 2 elderly parents, and she realized there was no way out of this hell. A desperate mother making a decision that must have broken her heart, an unimaginable decision that no mother, parent should ever need to make. A group of friends and neighbours got together and decided to help 3 children escape from the ghetto. 6-year-old Yossi was one of them. These children found themselves in war-torn Warsaw. No clothes, no food, no parents. They realized very quickly if they stayed together, they would be an easy target for the Polish police. So they split up, and now Yossi was completely on his own. He instinctively realized he had to eat and try and keep warm. His favorite haunts became dustbins outside restaurants, and he would often have to fill himself up with potato peelings. Once he was caught near a dustbin by a man who worked in the restaurant. This man, for many weeks, would hide a plate of food for Yossi until it became too dangerous. Despite all the precautions Yossi took, he was caught by a Polish policeman. "I know you're Jewish, so I'm going to take you to the police station." The man suddenly became preoccupied, and Yossi managed to slip from his grip. He ran for his life through the alleys and back doubles he now knew so well. Circumstances made him grow up very quickly. One day he met a woman with a pleasant and kind face. "I know you are a Jewish child, but I won't hurt you." She took him back to her house for a few weeks until it became too dangerous. The penalty for hiding a Jew was execution. His luck finally ran out. He was again arrested by 2 Polish police. Within a few weeks, he was on his train to Treblinka. The cattle truck was jammed full, and he could hardly breathe. There was no water, no hygiene, and people were dying around him. Yossi did not realize that it was 1944, Suddenly he heard planes and they were being bombed. He had no idea if they were British, American or Russian planes. The train stopped suddenly and the door burst open. And this was the opportunity he was waiting for. He ran for his life. He had no idea for how long or where he was. He was totally exhausted, and the lack of food caused him to lose consciousness. Yossi opened his eyes and saw a man standing over him. The man said, "Don't be afraid. I know where you came from." He had been found by a kindly farmer who took him home to his wife and 3 sons. The war was coming to an end. A few weeks later, Yossi was introduced to the member of the JDC, an agency whose mission was to rescue Jewish children.
I didn't know English then, but Yiddish I knew. She said we came looking for children that stayed alive in different places. So they came and took me away. They brought me from, that was in Poland, they brought me there. They searched to find other children. They brought me to a place called Košice in Czechoslovakia. From Košice, after a certain time, they sent us to Prague. Prague was something else. There I saw a lot of people, older ones. There for the first time, I asked, "What is Treblinka?" So they told me exactly what is Treblinka. They knew. From there, I was sent to England. I knew that I could be less afraid. And believe me, those years, months that I was roaming in Warsaw, the whole time I was just looking if somebody is not following me, if somebody is not behind me to catch me. It was very, very hard, very, very hard. After the war, many children came here to learn different things. There was a club here, Jewish Youth Club. They used to dance here to learn things. And here was the first time when I heard from people who were older from me what was going on in the concentration camps. I heard here the first time. From here with Youth Aliyah to Dover, from Dover to France. France, we came to Marseille on a ship to Palestine. In Israel, I have a family, 4 children, they are big, and I have grandchildren. In Israel, I'm king. Boys and girls, we were about 7 kids here. Mrs. Litton did everything for us. It's like a dream, you know, like a dream. This is one of the rooms that we slept. This is one of the rooms. Even then, it was a very nice place, very nice. For children that came after the war, it was something not real. It wasn't real for us. Yes, I had bar mitzvah here, first time going to school. History. Yes, very, very, very very exciting and very nice, very good to know that I was able to revisit everything, to see so much. This is the cow and calf in El Clemor, and there is a song on El Clemor Batad, on El Clemor Batad.
Thou go and get the deer so cold on El Clemor Batad. Thou go and get the deer so cold. Thou go and get the deer so cold on El Clemor Batad. On El Clemor Batad. On El Clemor Batad. That's where we get us on back. On El Clemor Batad. That's where we get us on back. That's where we get us on back. On El Clemor Batad.